Good morning, traders, and welcome to today's morning update. My name is Nishal Patel, and I'm going to be conducting today's Phoenix Blues morning update. Today's Thursday, the 13th of April, 2017. Hope you're very well. As always, if you've got any questions in relation to any of the discussions we're having in regards to the charts or our trading, feel free to send us an email at info@phoenixblue.co.uk. Alternatively, visit one of our social media links and no doubt you will be able to get in contact with us very, very quickly. Now, moving straight onto the markets and having a look at what's transpired. Before we open up our charts as usual, what we're going to have a look at is the key announcements for today on the 13th of April 2017. We've already had data come out on the Australian dollar, which looks very strong indeed. The employment data that has come out has been favorable to the Australian dollar. We're going to have a look at that in a moment. We've also had data out on the Chinese yuan. On their trade balance, again, their trade balance looks to have expanded. So obviously, another knock-on effect onto the greenback, and again, we will look at the index on the dollar shortly. We've got some key data out, not only on the US dollar and the Canadian dollar um, this afternoon. But one key area that we should be looking at is consumer sentiment in the USA on a gauge of the economy, and also the governor of the Bank of Canada speaking, so which may be very, very interesting as well. Moving straight on now onto our charts. So let's have a look at our charts right now. Starting off, I think the best place for us to start off would be the dollar index. So let's have a quick look at the dollar index. Right now, floating at 100 or just above 100 on this index. Remember, the greenback here is measured against a basket of other assets, in particularly weighted heavily on the euro, and the second highest weighting being on the yen, giving a display of how strong the dollar is. And right now, just coming off a three session decline on this, coming down literally to 100 before taking some, or just below 100 on this chart, and that's displayed on this chart here, which looks like a key area, as always, being a psychological number, but just hovering just above that. Now, we did have a very strong bearish day effectively on this index, which shows a significant weakness in the dollar, especially off a week where there has been a lack of, let's say, movement on the markets or liquidity, down to geopolitical concerns in Asia. And yesterday we had and no doubt many of you would have seen the comments made by the incumbent president of the United States, Donald Trump, on the strength of the USD. And how he would like it to how he would like it to be weaker. Now, I think it's come at a key time, especially with the geopolitical concerns, as no doubt all of you would have seen in the news, in particularly this week. With problems in not only in Middle East effectively, but also Asia, with Syria and North Korea being the prime attention here, and also with Trump and some of his advisors having a negotiation talks in China in regards to trade. So again, that's the hot topics of this week. There's not a squeak from Donald Trump in regards to any currency manipulation from China, in particularly right now, with talks about to kick off in that region. I'm assuming that he wants talks to go very well, but I think the market's really looking at how Trump is responding to a lot of many of the claims set out during or prior to the start of his term, um, and I think the markets have been a little they're a little unsure, and most certainly I think they're more unsure of the potential tax reforms which everyone's looking for, or a clear sign of these potential fiscal reforms happening, and obviously they will have a knock-on effect onto the markets, and they still haven't yet transpired. So it's going to be an interesting talking point. A currency which has taken full advantage of these geopolitical problems is the Australian dollar. Having a look at this chart on the weekly time frame, right now we can see the Australian dollar heading back straight up to 7,600, given some strength by the weakness in the US dollar, as we can see on this daily chart here, but also has rallied on from the early hours of this morning from the employment data, which came up very, very positive indeed, and has added strength straight to the Australian dollar against the USD. Coming back to a key level in that 7,600, and what many of you may see is you would have seen a good, nice key pullback off its high to its previous swing low, potentially on this on a weekly time frame. We've got a level highlighted here, a confluence of levels, in fact, which may be an area where some of you may look to get in. So that's going to be quite interesting. Having a look, moving on straight forward onto the euro. Euro's down against the USD marginally. Again, yesterday taking full advantage of the weakness in the US dollar, climbing somewhat, but has literally come back down, and right now sitting at 1.0644, right on the top of this long-term trend line that we've highlighted from many, many moons ago. And shown the strength of this trend line in previous morning updates, as well as other videos that we've created for you guys. So it looks like the dollar is taking back some of its losses made on the previous session. Moving straight on forward and going on to the Japanese yen. Again, having a look at the Japanese yen on this weekly time frame right now, the yen floating just above 1.09, I should say. So looking like it's falling back into that key area that many of you would be able to highlight, and if you should be able to see on your charts, just above the 108 to 110 area, which is quite key, especially as many of us will be looking for a potential upside trade on this. And again, in the short term, I know that the intraday traders will take full advantage of the movement here. Moving on very swiftly onto cable. Having a look at cable right now. Cable floating at 1.25575, climbing still. Had come back down and again tested this long-term trend line before bottoming out and looking to take out its previous neckline or its previous high. This looks very resilient, as we've said previously, and no doubt the data coming out from the UK is positive and showing very strong signs. Obviously, right now we haven't had any key news this week on debates of Brexit, and this chart shows full reflection of it, I guess. Moving on, again, looking at the commodity front right now. WTI being the starting point. Having a look at WTI on this daily time frame, we can see that WTI right now is floating at $53.31 a barrel off this data that's shown to us. So back into that trap above the 52 and the 54. Let's look to see what happens here. And then moving on to our final commodity, having a look at the price of gold spot. And obviously gold's taken full advantage of the movement again on the dollar, floating at a what looks to be a 5 or 6 month high here, sitting at 1285, $1,285.65 per troy ounce right now, doing very well, as we can see on this chart. Now, there are many other currency pairs that we can flick through and rifle through, as well as indexes. As I said, predominantly a lot of the movement has transpired over the last few days in terms of movement away from marquee levels, which many of you guys should be very well aware of. If there are any key questions that you guys may have in regards to the way we trade, or even learning how to trade and understanding how you can move forward with trading and how it can benefit yourself as a secondary or primary income trading the financial markets, feel free to send us an email at phoenixblue.co.uk. Alternatively, what you could do is you could come along to one of our seminars that we're holding on Tuesday, 18th of April, which is just after this bank holiday, Easter weekend, I should say, here in London. If you'd like to attend, feel free to send us an email at info@phoenixblue.co.uk. Alternatively, visit our website, or feel free to give us a call. Until next time, guys, happy trading. Take care. Bye-bye.